Lack of discipline, main reason for spike in COVID cases, says Chief Minister. Nambu River now looks rejuvenated amid COVID-19 lockdown. And Prime Minister Modi to interact with chief ministers from Northeast on June 16. A very good evening. Welcome to Times of Manipur. You're watching the Evening News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI giving you the latest news updates. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh today visited the new COVID care center opened at UNACO School, Maitram in Imphal West District. Speaking to media person, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh observed that lack of discipline among inmates and violation of safety guidelines are the main reasons for the rise of COVID-19 cases in the state. Stating that mischievous inmates would be put behind bars, the Chief Minister said that 8 inmates had already been jailed so far. The Chief Minister further stated that it was encouraging that ML civil society organizations and many student bodies have been actively involved in imparting awareness to the inmates of quarantine centers so that they may understand the gravity of the situation and realize the importance of maintaining safety guidelines. Biren further said that around 48 patients are being treated in the new COVID care center and the government is considering to increase the number of beds from 100 to 300. The Chief Minister further informed that necessary manpower has been deputed at the center for proper care and treatment of patients. Meanwhile, recovery rate of patients is also increasing, he added. Stating that RIMS would not admit new COVID-19 patients now, the Chief Minister said that it would be kept as a general hospital while COVID-19 cases would be treated only in JNIMS, COVID Care Center, Maitram and some district hospitals. Advisor to Chief Minister K. Laishio, MLA Setrigao constituency, and Indrajit, MLA Nauria Pakhanglakpa, S. Subachandra, Health Services Director Dr. K. Rajo and other officials also accompanied the Chief Minister during the inspection.
Flight nung kari mapandagi lakpadi kara masing handanaba koi high kra the yaringi mapandagi lakpo sing kara delay tawnanaba train nung kari kaise kana honari adu nationwide ke open toropunina train chala lakpa de mama toropunina madu lakpada lakanu haine thingsu yadu gumba du me conditions lakpa anda koine sigi hospital ki capacity se handle albanina koi adagi lagasu je dimsima koina han hai ke bad maina yam clearly COVID lehendaba hospital oirani asi hujik lai dibasin je phagala phogal oina to pa admit to dan ba haita aduga jenims ka koigi sigi una ko gista concentrate orani koigi COVID related thing.
The Nambu River, which flows through the heart of Imphal city, has remained polluted for many years, but presently the river looks quite rejuvenated with a continuous COVID-19 lockdown and closure of markets. Here is an exclusive report.
The Manipur government has started dredging of Nambu river banks and its bed since 2019 to make it a pollution-free river. It seems the prolonged COVID-19 lockdown and the relentless effort by the government now have trimmed the river. However, residents near the riverbank need to stop dumping of waste to maintain the current recuperated state.
कोई पब्लिक सिंग ज्ञान ता दिया बा उसी हेड लोय बगस हम अमोट हुंदर कनी लोय न फतो हौदी हुंदर कनी अद नसाई हे जारगी 10 पिन के हाचन ब तोंगाल मोय अम थम दिया पुलप पुलप हेता थादा भी नला की खंदे अमी खंदे पुलप थादर ग मोली बा हंतक सिदन पी अंगा बयाम चन मु सेंगी बदो अंगसु कोरोना में तुम अंगसु हम सेंग दुरी ने बा सेंगदना बा matung ta padu na dum thamna honaba phayena khale khan wakhanla
sumaina miyam gi damak lokha pirakpa aphaba sidi miyam puna magna su thaga pham tho ene su khale makha ta na su sumaina luna nana thamba se adum thamhan janingi khoi miyam na su masigi se akhoi gi su ithongni khalaga ai na su masida thodang amina si ana hajani.
Many believe that once the lockdown is lifted and the markets start opening in the city, the current invigorated looks may lose soon. Many feel it very important that the government take up measures to keep up with the present condition of the river.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will have one-to-one interaction with chief ministers of northeastern states on Tuesday over the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the region. Media reports say that the interaction program will take place with states on June 16 next and union territories the next day. The meeting through video conferencing will start from 3 p.m. and it is believed that Prime Minister Modi will talk with all the chief ministers over the present state of affairs involving COVID-19. Narendra Modi will also personally take stock of the situation that evolved due to the pandemic. This proposed meeting will be the first such meeting with chief ministers across India after the country entered into the unlock phase of the nationwide lockdown. Manipur registered 34 fresh COVID-19 positive cases in the past 24 hours, taking the total tally to 419. All the patients are being shifted to COVID care facilities in Imphal. So far, 89 patients have been discharged after recovery, while the number of active cases in the state stands at 330. The total number of COVID-19 cases in Nagaland rose to 163 after 7 more patients tested positive for coronavirus this morning. According to media reports, of the 7 new cases, 6 are from one quarantine center and 1 from Kohima quarantine center. The state now has 114 active cases, while 49 patients have recovered so far. No one has died of COVID-19 in the state so far. Assam has reported 195 fresh COVID-19 positive cases as of last night, after which the state's overall tally has climbed to 3,693. Confirming the report, Assam Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma tweeted last night about 195 new COVID-19 cases in the state. According to sources, 3 doctors at Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, GMCH, also tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. The infected doctors were in quarantine center at the Vivanta by Taj Hotel in Guwahati. Assam has so far reported 3,693 positive cases of the deadly virus. Of this, 1,584 patients have been discharged from hospitals after full recovery. Now let's take a short break, but next, Chief Minister Gi Hakshel Gi Tengbang cards and Prime Minister health cards distributed. More after the break.
Ichabu mahi tamhanba haibasi mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudoni. Slopland Public School, biggest and the finest residential school, Manipur gi oina lamjaningai oiraba mahi tampham ama oiriba khwaidigi chunaraba mafamda semgatlaba CBS Yetoba Higher Secondary School oiri. Icha singbu admission tawidana mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudol oibiu ichagi phazabalam chak sajat ki ahombadu ubiu. Slopland Public School Khongjom.
Welcome back. Chief Minister Gi Hakshel Gi Tengbang CMHT cards and Prime Minister health cards were today distributed to people living under below poverty line in Thangal Bazaar area in Imphal. The health cards were handed out to beneficiaries at Kalibari under the supervision of Thokchom Sarachandra. Former Vice President of Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha, K. Bikram, Manipur Government Arts and Culture Coordinator Naba Volcano, IMC Ward No. 25 Corporator Sujata Paumai, and several others attended the event.
Imung manungda kitang awaba leba misi gidamukta khanbiraga CMHT card amasung Prime Minister koi Prime Minister Narendra Modi na sumba samai bes forward scheme se akogi Prime Minister health card se asi ani se ngasi pibagi tanja se lauraga aina mayam ngasi gi tinbiriba akogi non person da hygienic badi CM na su akogi Manipuri macha amagumna non Manipuri nuksi haibase ai ngasi gi tanja se lauru uchari haibadi CM na su chapchana Manipur sida laiba sing oisno tam oisno non Manipuri oisno Nepali oisno ama whatever oisno community khudimak CM na chapmana na nuksi haibase ai ngasi tanja se lauraga ngasi haini.
Representatives of Manipuri Headquarter and Com Union yesterday visited the titular king of Manipur, Laisemba Sanajauba, at the Royal Palace in Imphal. Com Union Vice President Haupu Kom, Joseph Mar of Manipuri General Quarters were part of the team. Mention may be made that the hill-based social organizations made the visit to express their happiness over Laisemba Sanajauba being contested the upcoming Rajya Sabha election scheduled to be held on June 19. Ahead of the World's Blood Donors Day on June 14, the Indian Red Cross Society Imphal West District branch in collaboration with Kangleipak Kanbalup KKL held a blood donation camp at Reams and Jenims blood banks. 300 people donated blood at the camp organized under the theme Save Blood Saves Life. Speaking at the blood donation camp, Secretary of IRCS Imphal West District Branch Oinam Ratan said that the donation was held to meet the shortage of blood during COVID-19 lockdown, adding that 1 unit of blood donated by each donor will save at least 3 people. Members of Nongchup Imphal Palem Ima Apunbalup Nimpal planted trees in Iram Sifai Awang Laikai area today as part of the World Environment Day. Later, the members also distributed face masks and hand sanitizers to the Mairapaibis of the area. Secretary of Nimpal Santi Laima said that people should plant more trees to help maintain the ecological balance. Santi also said that everyone should work together to defeat the COVID-19. Impulse NGOs Network, New Life Foundation, Manipur Children Forum Bisnupur, Childline Bisnupur, Upa Pradhan of Ngangkalawai Gram Panchayat, M. Muton and other social workers distributed rations to 150 widows of Thamnapokpi under Moirang block of Bisnupur. The distribution led by Secretary of New Life Foundation, L. Pishak, took place at Kaifa Kaithel of Thamnapokpi. BJP Tengnopal Mandal celebrated the first anniversary of Modi II government today at Kopinon Hall, Palel under Tengnopal district. BJP Manipur Pradesh President Professor S. Tikan, Vice President H.S. Benjamin Mate, Vice President of BJP National Mahila Morcha Sarda Devi and member of BJP National Council Yanglet Haukip were present during the celebration. Members of Autonomous District Council ADC Chandal and BJP workers were also present. At the occasion, Professor S. Tikan said that it is the responsibility of the party man to make BJP a strong party. Now we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Langol View Charitable Clinic haina khangnaram mafamasi Lamjingba Hospital and Medical Research Institute Private Limited haina khangnarakani. Mafamasida medicine, gynecology, surgery, orthopedic, ENT amadi pediatrics ka mari lenaba analaying service singi khudong chawa lobiyo. Akupa marol gidama contact tobiyo Lamjingba Hospital and Medical Research Institute Private Limited, Rims Southgate near Kombire Kaithel. Hospital helpline number 8258967890.
Welcome back. 6 persons who have tested negative for COVID-19 at Viral Research Diagnostic Laboratory VRDL reams have been brought back by Advanced Life Support ALS ambulance to an institutional quarantine center at Tengkonjang Higher Secondary School, Nonei today. These people will be sent back to their respective villages for further home quarantine. Meanwhile, one female positive case of COVID-19 from Nonei district has been sent to Imphal from institutional quarantine center Nonei Tengkonjang Higher Secondary School by ALS ambulance. Indian Red Cross Society IRCS Imphal East today and Tulihal Educated Association jointly organized an awareness program on psychosocial support for frontline workers during COVID-19 today at the Azad Higher Secondary School at Yaripok. Yaripok Tulihal Jila Parishad member Inaubi, IRCS Imphal East, Chairman Narendra Ningomba, and several others attended the event. Deputy Commissioner of Bishnupur District, Nita Arambam, today issued an order declaring SK Women's College, Nambol under Bishnupur District as containment zone, banning entry and exit of people, initiating active surveillance of COVID-19 cases. The order comes after 4 inmates in SK Women's College Community Quarantine Center tested positive for COVID-19. The 4 persons are from Oinam Awang Laikai, Irengbam Makha Laikai, Kwasifai Mamang Laikai, and Pubala Awang Laikai under Bishnupur District. Nita Arambam also said that any person who violates the containment measures will be punished under Section 188 of Indian Penal Code 1860. Commemorating the 100th birth anniversary of late writer Takhelambam Thoibi, the Laimarol Korjaikol, Laikol, Kwakaitel, Moirangpurel, Imphal today organized a short story reading program at Kwakaitel in Imphal. Laikol President Setrimayum Subadani Devi, along with several renowned female writers of the state, attended the event. Nepal security personnel today released a Bihar man a day after he was detained, according to media reports. The man was detained by Nepal security personnel following a firing incident inside its territory near India-Nepal border yesterday. Indian citizen Ram Lagan Yadav, who was detained by the Nepal police during clashes deep inside Nepalese territory, has been released early today morning. The entire incident unfolded over Lagan Yadav trying to meet his daughter-in-law across the border, who is a native of Nepal. During the clash, an Indian citizen was killed and 2 others were injured when Nepal Armed Police Force APF opened fire on a group following an altercation. The deceased was identified as 22 years old Bikesh Yadav, and the injured were identified as Uday Thakur, age of 24 years, and Umesh Ram, age of 18 years. Before we end the bulletin, the top news headlines once again. Lack of discipline, main reason for spike in COVID cases, says Chief Minister. Nambul River now looks rejuvenated amid COVID-19 lockdown. And Prime Minister Modi to interact with chief ministers from Northeast on June 16. And with that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Good time ahead.